We are under 72 hours until the Titans hit the field once again for the home opener against the Los Angeles Rams. So I figured, we're a couple days away. Let's break down a full preview of the Titans-Rams Week 2 matchup. Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. And yes, the home opener for the Tennessee Titans against the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are coming off a big win over the Houston Texans, one of the division rivals of the Tennessee Titans. And you see that number right there? Yeah, many people think that the Rams are going to win this one, but a low scoring game. 12 p.m. kickoff at Nissan Stadium. We're going to break down, just to go into a deep dive of the Rams, some injury news that involves the Tennessee Titans because, guys, it is not good, and it involves the offensive line, and we saw how bad the offensive line was on Sunday. Keys to victory on what the Titans are going to need to do to win this game, and of course, we end it, and I give you guys a score prediction. The vibes were not good going into Sunday after Brian Callahan forgot the rules. It was a bonehead play by Jeffrey Simmons, but overall, we are on to Los Angeles. So we got the good vibes going, and I like to send some good vibes over to Tennessee. So come on with me. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up icon. Let's give some good vibes to the Tennessee Titans. Hit that thumbs up icon right now. All right, so let's kind of go over just the last game from the Rams. It was very, very, very close. The Texans, they had a chance to win the game, and unfortunately, they fumbled while they were driving down the field to score. 14-9, very low-scoring game. You see C.J. Stroud, he was held under 200 yards, and Matthew Stafford lit it up for over 200, and Puka Nacua was doing Puka Nacua things. Start with the Rams' offense. And right now, you see that they're not high-ranking. Like, you didn't score a lot of points. You didn't throw a lot of yards. But overall, I mean, a solid team. They are still up in the 20s throughout the entire NFL. And passing yards, they are 10th. Because Matthew Stafford, I mean, he's getting up there in age, guys, but he is still one of the best quarterbacks in football. 245 yards, 72% completion percentage, which is a lot more than we saw from Cam Ward the other day, 109 QB rating. But the main guy that I'm worried about, and it's obviously got to come from passes from Matthew Stafford, is Puka Nacua. And he has become maybe even a top 5, top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. 10 catches, 130 yards, 13 yards per catch average. He didn't score a touchdown, but you know that Puka Nacua is going to be an X factor in this game. And the Titans secondary, they got to bring their A game. Like, they're going to have to play the best possible game. One of the best games of the season if they want to have a chance in this game. You got to contain Stafford. You got to contain Puka Nacua. And you got to contain Davante Adams. But at the same time, yeah, they have good wide receivers, but they also have one of the great running back in Kyren Williams. They have a bunch of playmakers on this roster. The only spot where they're kind of weak at is tight end. And I think that the Titans can kind of handle their situations with the Rams tight ends. But overall, you got to be able to guard Puka Nacua. And is L'Jarius Sneed going to be able to guard Puka Nacua? Is Davante Adams going to be is L'Jarius Sneed going to be able to guard Puka? Is Roger McCreary going to be able to guard Davante Adams, or whoever is on whoever? Because Jarvis Brownlee Jr. is also going to be guarding one of those guys. So you have to really step up in the secondary, and that is going to be a big part of this defense. But Brian Callahan, he does know a lot about Matthew Stafford because he was on the Detroit Lions coaching staff back in the day when Matthew Stafford was the quarterback of Detroit. And he said this, talking about Matt Stafford. He's like a quintessential quarterback. If you build one, they look like Matthew. Awesome human being to be around, great with his teammates. He's probably one of the toughest players I've ever been around, and he's extremely talented. On top of it, I had a lot of joy coaching him for those 2 years. He was the quarterback coach in Detroit, and that's why I've always talked about on this channel that he is supposed to be the quarterback whisperer of the entire NFL. He's worked with Peyton Manning. He's worked with Matthew Stafford. He's worked with Joe Burrow, and now he is working with Cam Ward. So hopefully he can really develop Cam Ward to being one of the best quarterbacks, just like a Joe Burrow or just like a Matthew Stafford in this league. Then we go to their defense, and you saw the points that they held the Houston Texans to. Only 9 points, which was the third best in the NFL on the week 1. Yards per game, 265, which is top 10. Their defense is very swarming. And I have a bad feeling that Cam Ward might be pressured just as much as he was in week 1 by the Denver Broncos because they have a very good front seven. Jared Verse, who's turning into one of the best edge rushers in football. Braden Fisk, Troy Reeder, the man from Delaware. Nate Landman, like Cam Curl. This team is a swarming secondary, a swarming front seven. And I think Cam Ward might have his hands full, but you need to have a bounce-back game. I don't want to see Cam Ward going 12 for 28 once again for only 112 yards because you had the perfect opportunity to win that ball game on Sunday against the Denver Broncos. If it wasn't for the offense, they would have easily won the ball game. You picked off Bo Nix twice. You made them commit a bunch of turnovers. It's the home opener. And I know that place, Nissan Stadium, is going to be rocking. So you need to come out firing. Cam Ward needs to have an absolute game. And I think that he's very confident in trying to have that great game because he knows that he's got to be better. I don't think any quarterback in the NFL is thinking, oh, yeah, well, I can just throw for 43% of completion percentage. There's only one other quarterback I think I saw on Sunday that threw for under 50%, and that was Russell Wilson. And we consider that one of the worst starts of Russell Wilson's career. That was Cam Ward's first start. You can only go up from here. You can only go up from here. Also, give Cam Ward some good vibes, guys. Give Cam Ward some good vibes because I got confidence in him. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world just because it's one game. No first-round pick, no first overall pick has a good game. So give Cam Ward the good vibes, just like we gave the entire Tennessee Titans team some good vibes, and hit that thumbs up icon. Going to break down and give you my keys to victory in just a little bit. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. I made a little lineup for you guys. It involves Cam Ward and Prize Picks. They're also giving you a max discount with Travis Kelce. Only needs 1 receiving yard. That's it. Just 1. If he doesn't get 1, I would be shocked. Also, the more on Tony Pollard. 1 rushing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown. They are scoring this week. And Cam Ward, I like you. It's going to take a little bit to get into rhythm. Give me the less on passing yards, the less 200.5. You can make a lineup just like that one when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, so now kind of the one problem that the Titans may have on Sunday, and it involves some of the injuries. And the injury report for Thursday has not fully come out, but they are practicing on the field, and we did not see T'Vondre Sweat. We did not see J.C. Latham on the practice field on Thursday. But here's the injury report from Wednesday, and you see Quandre Diggs, you see Arden Key, limited, J.C. Latham, Khalil Mullings, L'Jarius Sneed, T'Vondre Sweat, and Kevin Winston Jr. He was on the injury report with a hamstring. There's 2 guys, though, that I kind of want to focus in on this is going to be a major problem if they don't play. And one person, J.C. Latham, has already ruled himself out. He told Easton Freeze, who reports for the Titans with A to Z Sports, that he is missing Sunday's game. So he is going to be out. But then it's T'Vondre Sweat. And I want to start with J.C. Latham, and he has been dealing with this hip injury throughout the entire offseason. He came back to OTAs in training camp and throughout the preseason. He was having a little bit of problems with that hip, and it looked like he re-aggravated it during that Broncos game on Sunday, which is not good because the offensive line already looks bad. And when I mean it already looks bad, it was terrible. Cam Ward was pressured over 50% of his dropbacks, and the guy you gave $82 million to was not worth a single penny. Here's the PFF grades from Sunday's game, and you see Dan Moore Jr. with a 38.1. 38.1. Come on, man. Peter Skoronski was the best player, best offensive lineman on the field. Lloyd Cushenberry was okay. And then Kevin Zeitler with a 66.8. But you see J.C. Latham there with a 58.3. Well, he is out Sunday. And the guy who's going to be replacing him is a veteran in the NFL, coming over from the Saints, Oli Udo. But you see right there, he played 12 snaps against the Broncos after J.C. Latham got hurt, and he was not great. 38.9 PFF grade. He was on the field with that final drive, which I will not blame the offensive line. There was a bunch of drops, including one to Chigakonkwo and one to Calvin Ridley. But you need a good offensive line to give Cam Ward at least some protection. Now we move to the defense. And you also need T'Vondre Sweat on the defensive line. I love Jeffrey Simmons. He's one of the best players in the NFL. And the secondary played great. Xavier Woods played great. We saw Quandre Diggs. We saw Roger McCreary get a pick. Like, this defense is swarming. But there was one play in particular that involves T'Vondre Sweat, and that is that one play against Bo Nix where he tried to rush for a first down. It was 4th and 1, and he did not get that first down. He did not get it. And why? Because it was T'Vondre Sweat, and he needs to be on that field. It's going to be a rough one. It's going to be a rough one. Here are my keys to victory. We'll go over one each one by one. We'll set the tone, and I just have to say, you have to set the tone. It's your home opener, man. It is your home opener. You have to show that you are ready to play this game. Show the fans what you're made of. Do not show them that you are going to be one of the worst teams in football once again. The next one, you got to establish the running game. There was not a lot of rushing yards in that game whatsoever. Well, there wasn't many yards, period. But Tony Pollard, you got to be better, my guy. I know you rushed for 1,000 last year, but 18 carries for 60 yards, a 3.3 average, that is unacceptable, especially with the amount of how fast you are and your ability to catch passes. He had that one pass right on one of the first plays of the ball game. You have to get through the holes. The offensive line also has to be better to make those holes, but Tony Pollard, you have to be the best player that you can be. Make that play action happen, then you can set up Chigakonkwo, and hopefully Calvin Ridley can start catching some passes. Minimalize the penalties. We saw them have an absolute ton, especially the bonehead play by Jeffrey Simmons at the end of the game, which pretty much settled it. I know you got the ball back, but you would have been in better field position and had a lot more time if Jeffrey Simmons doesn't commit that bonehead call. Overall, not good. 13 penalties for 131 yards. The Titans didn't have 150 yards of offense. You almost had as many penalty yards as you did total yards. That is unacceptable. You have to be a more disciplined team. It starts with the head coach, but it also starts with your veteran players. It starts with your captains. And the last one, the last key to victory, catch the goddamn ball. There were way too many drops on Sunday. Calvin Ridley had 3 of them, and I saw Chigakonkwo drop one of them. I saw everybody dropping everything. And I know people are going to get mad, and the quarterback, he obviously knew that was coming, but Cam Ward, he did say this, and he's never going to complain about the wide receivers dropping a pass. He said, I'm never going to get on those guys for dropping a ball. I'm going to throw a pick at some point this season. He did not throw one on Sunday. So bad plays are going to happen. The biggest thing is when we get back to the huddle, we have to have a next play mentality. I'm not too worried about that. Those boys are going to catch the ball. And I think that Calvin Ridley is going to have a better game. I still think he's one of the best wide receivers in football. I still think he has all the talent in the world. He got 1,000 yards last year with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. Now he has Cam Ward. Just catch the ball, my guy. Catch the ball. And now for the final before we get on out of here. I got my score prediction. And I know the offensive line is going to struggle. I really do. But if T'Vondre Sweat gets on the field, this defense is going to swarm. And I feel like at home, there's an upset brewing in Nashville. So give me the Titans. 27-20. I think they pull off this win. The Rams, they really didn't look that good against the Texans. I know they had a lot of yards, but 14 points. If you can hold this team to 14 points, and I think the Titans defense can, I think they have a really good chance of winning this ball game. You predict it for me now. Go in the comments section down below and give me your score prediction for Titans versus the Rams. I think it's going to be 27-20, but you let me know down in the comments section. And while you're down there, if you like the whole entire video and you're still here, why don't you go ahead, hit that sub button. We are on our way to 12,000 subscribers. I want to get there, and I need your help. So if you want Titans coverage all the time, revolving everything around Tennessee, hit that sub button. And as always, tighten up.